Hey, so since I can't stop yapping about the SNES, just wanted to kind of show you guys this sort of sandbox that I have for playing around with hacks and stuff for Super Mario World. So I'll load the cartridge here. Start a new game. Fast forwarding. Okay. So this is what the overworld looks like. Yoshi's house is just normal Yoshi's house, but we got a working Star World. It'll actually teleport you to Star World from the game. Made little custom graphics for the level. If you go into that, it's the bonus level and you kind of get logged in purgatory. Not really useful for anything other than just like that was a spot where I did a little bit of artwork. This first level, I threw in some custom sprites. This one over here, you'll see hanging up. He's called Big Swooper. There's some broken graphics on this dry bones you see as he throws a bone, but you'll notice when he throws it to the right, it moves slower and it accelerates throwing to the left. Speeds the fuck up. So I go behind this giant swooper and he actually drops behind fireballs. It's just part of a routine that came with him. This stuff's actually just all downloadable from the ROM Hacking Central website. I have this door here that'll enter level 105. I guess I can go into it and just die. Um, just takes you to a random entrance, different than where you would normally come in over here. Just jumped across the bullet bill. Oh, didn't pause it to show it, but that beetle actually has some custom graphics on it that I just did in a little pixel art program. But the same one gets loaded into this level. See, he's got a little happy face on him instead of the regular face. It's usually like a more angry looking beetle. Anyways, so past this level, going down this pipe takes you back to the original Yoshi's Island 1 level 2 that we were just in, but it shoots you out of the pipe in the middle. So I pass the level and hit fast forward. Alright, so this next one has a custom block in it actually, and I'll show you that in a second, but after we beat this, or like after I run through the gold tape here, I want you to take a look at this block here because a level is going to be uncovered, and I did actually some custom animation that I thought was pretty cool in it. So this custom block, just if Mario approaches from the top and walks over the top of this, and I guess maybe I could show you the assembly code for that, but as soon as you do that, it affects his power-up status and puts a cape on him. Over here. Right. So, okay, check out this animation. Although this is cool as hell. So, there's also secret exits that can be affected. I did a pretty, I guess okay looking one. I mean, this is just a sandbox, so... Ah, shit. You know what? I took the keyhole out, so I can't really show that to you. But I do have another little trick in here. So you'll see that I have one coin here, and I added a custom assembly patch, and like this one was just from scratch. I'll probably show it to you on this video. If that's not 0, then the background just turns blood red. It doesn't look as cool on this level as it does the other level I was just on, but let me show it to you here. So this level I thought had the sickest look for that because the stars in the background, those things, they're not a part of the background layer that's going to be affected by color change. So pick up a coin, go back into it, and watch, this looks sick as hell. Whoosh. So watch, take a look at this too, what I thought was pretty neat. We'll dive into a little bit of what's going on with that custom death routine. So I'll save state here. So, you know, anytime I'm about to die, I can just jump back. So I'm going to open up the debugger. And the breakpoint that I'm going to set is the one that I used in my patch, and that's this F606 address. The forums, they just have this spot where you can search through any address you want and any sort of description, anything you wanted to know, whether like which part of the ROM it's in, and it'll give you like this full breakdown of it. Let me pause it so I can get rid of that music in the background. It's a good song, but so that's what we're using. I'll actually show it to you because it's in my patch too. So it's all right here. F60A is where I'm gonna break. I guess not exactly that F606, but I can actually show you why here, which is another really neat thing because, like I was saying in chat earlier, they've gone ahead and commented the entire disassembly of this ROM. So I'll look for the kill Mario routine, which is what that was called back in the on the forums. So we have this load instruction here, and this branch here checks for, looks like his power up status, but we're not in the kill Mario subroutine yet. We can tell that because this branch here is going to take us to it. So to it, over here we have the subroutine labeled kill Mario F608 F60A. That's where my hijack comes in. So the first thing this does is this puts in a jump to a long subroutine. It's just a long address that, I mean, this has to do with how far out jump routines are going and how which bank in the ROM you're in, which I'm not really going to get into in this. It wouldn't be fun to just sit here and talk about that. But we jump into it and we load this other memory address, which you can find on the forums in that same thing that I was showing just a second ago. But it's checking Mario's coins. We can actually look at it right here, just to kind of demonstrate how easy this is. And that's in RAM. I lied. DBF. Oh, doesn't have the word death in it. And let's just look in RAM because 0dBF is in other banks. So 70 0dBF. Player's current coin count. So that gets checked. It gets loaded in the accumulator. If it's 0, it branches to the subroutine noted by this plus sign. Plus sign loads 09, which that's that's in the ROM already. That's gonna be the death jingle. We could probably change that. But 9 is a track number, and it goes into the death jingle RAM address slot. And then we're gonna return to a long address, meaning that we're exiting the bank that this subroutine is in and returning to the address and bank that it came from. Uh, you can actually find that in the disassembly. So this is where all that was patched in. So anyways, back in the ROM, I've got the debugger open. We're going to add a breakpoint. At F60A. Don't know which happens. I'm just going to set read, write, and execute. And I'm going to go back into game. And here we are, F60A, right where my hijack happens. And then we can step into it and see each of those instructions that I'd put in there show up here and, fuck around with it. Like, say something had broken. This actually came from a workshop that I was reading where you put this in incorrectly intentionally. And what they have you do is they have you intentionally miss this SEP instruction here, which that's the instruction for setting the flag registers for the register width of the accumulator that I was talking about before in chat. And, if you do that, you're going to consume 16 bits at a time, vice 8. If you forget to set that, then you're going to start consuming instructions as data into the accumulator, and all kinds of wonky shit's going to happen, was why they put that in here. But, yeah, like I was saying, this stuff is super well documented. I'm not going to take up more time and, like, show you the custom blocks and sprites and stuff. They're pretty similar to the patch that I have in here. It's the same formula of just, here's a label that we've put for the subroutine. Asar, the assembler, knows the addresses for those labels, goes straight to them, calculates, how many nops to put in if needed for like a jump that you're adding, because addresses need to keep the same offsets, especially if you're going to be having like multiple patches. You don't want shit to be all smashed out of place in the ROM so that Asar can't, use these useful labels that it has for them. But yeah, super cool. That's it.